Ever wondered how some of the wealthiest people and biggest corporations on the planet seem to own everything but pay almost nothing in taxes? It's not magic. It's a carefully constructed maze of shell companies. Today, we're going deep into this labyrinth to show you exactly how it's done. And let's be crystal clear, this is for educational purposes only. We're exploring the mechanics, not giving financial advice. Imagine you want to own 50 different businesses, cafes, tech startups, real estate, but you want to remain completely invisible to the tax authorities in your home country. How would you do it? The answer lies in a strategy called layering. It's like a Russian nesting doll, but with legal entities. Let's start with a simple example. You set up Company A right here in your home country. This company looks perfectly normal. It has an office, employees, and it conducts legitimate business. But here is the first twist. Company A doesn't actually own its most valuable assets directly. Instead, it's owned by another company, Company B. So where is Company B located? Not next door. Company B is registered in a different country, one with slightly more favorable tax laws. Think of places like Ireland or the Netherlands. These countries are often called conduit jurisdictions. They act as a pipeline for money to flow through. Company B's primary function is to own Company A on paper. It looks like a foreign investment, which is perfectly legal. But we're just getting started. The real secret is another layer deep. Company B, located in our conduit country, is itself owned by yet another company, Company C, and Company C is where the game really changes. Company C is registered in what's known as a tax haven, a place like the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, or the British Virgin Islands. These places have one thing in common. They charge little to no corporate tax. Sometimes it's a big fat zero. So now we have a chain of command. Company C in the tax haven owns Company B in the conduit country, which in turn owns Company A, the one doing business back home. You, the ultimate beneficial owner, are tucked away behind these layers, your name not appearing on the public ownership documents of Company A. Now, how does the money actually disappear from the taxman's view? This is where the magic of management fees and intellectual property comes into play. Let's say Company A, your local business, makes $10 million in profit. If it declared that profit in its home country, it would face a hefty tax bill, maybe 30 or 40%. That's $3 or $4 million gone. To avoid this, Company A doesn't declare much profit at all. Instead, it pays a massive management fee to its parent, Company B. This fee could be for strategic services or consulting. The fee just happens to be, say, $9 million. Suddenly, Company A's taxable profit is down to just $1 million. It pays its local taxes on that small amount. Meanwhile, $9 million is legally moved from your home country to Company B in the conduit jurisdiction. This jurisdiction has a lower tax rate, but we're not stopping there. Company B, now holding $9 million, needs to move the money further down the line. How? It might pay a huge royalty fee to its own parent, Company C, the one in the tax haven. This fee is for the right to use the brand name, a logo, or some other piece of intellectual property that is conveniently owned by Company C. This royalty fee could be, you guessed it, almost the entire $9 million. So the money flows from Company A to Company B, and then from Company B to Company C. Each step is a legitimate business expense on paper, a management fee, a royalty payment. Finally, the bulk of the profit, that $9 million, lands in the bank account of Company C in the tax haven. And what's the corporate tax rate there? 0. The final tax paid on that $9 million is nothing. This structure can be scaled and made infinitely more complex. Instead of just 3 companies, imagine a web of 50. Company A owns B, B owns C, C owns D, and so on, with each entity registered in a different jurisdiction with its own specific legal and tax advantages. You can have trusts, foundations, and partnerships all woven into this web, creating a structure so dense and opaque that it becomes nearly impossible for tax authorities to unravel who truly owns what and where the profits are really being generated. One company might be registered in Delaware in the US, known for its corporate secrecy. Another might be in Luxembourg, another in Singapore. Each link in the chain is chosen for a specific purpose, like a master chess player positioning pieces on a global board. The ultimate goal is always the same: to move profits from high-tax countries to no-tax countries, all while staying within the letter of the law. Think about the world's biggest tech companies. Where is their intellectual property, their valuable code and patents legally held? Often, it's not in Silicon Valley. It's held by a subsidiary in a low-tax or no-tax jurisdiction. So when the company's operations all over the world make billions, a huge chunk of that money is sent to that subsidiary as royalty payments for using the IP. The result is that massive global profits are taxed at a tiny effective rate. This isn't just for mega corporations. Wealthy individuals use similar structures to hold assets like yachts, private jets, art collections, and real estate portfolios. By placing ownership within an offshore company, they can often avoid sales tax, value-added tax, and inheritance tax when these assets are bought, sold, or passed on to heirs. The asset is owned by the company, not the person, and the company is in a place that doesn't tax those transactions. The key takeaway is that the system is designed to be a maze. It uses legal tools and the differences between national laws to create pathways for money to flow untaxed. It's a global game of hide and seek, played by the best lawyers and accountants in the world. And while it might be legal, the effects are profound. When billions or even trillions of dollars in profits go untaxed, that's money that isn't going into public services like roads, schools, and healthcare. It shifts the tax burden onto small businesses and everyday workers who don't have access to these complex international structures. The world is slowly trying to catch up, with international agreements aiming for minimum corporate tax rates and greater transparency. But for now, the shell company maze remains one of the most effective and controversial tools in the world of global finance. It's a shadowy world where ownership is an illusion and profits can vanish into thin air. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. If you found this fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that uncovers how the world really works. See you in the next video.